Welcome back to Last Stream World Unknown. At the latter half of last episode, we had started exploring this town of North Bay, I think it's called. And there was just too much to explore, and we ran out of time. And yes, it is called North Bay indeed. Right, and I've already talked to this guy. And so I'm just going to pick up exploring town of North Bay. There's like a little dock here, but I can't like go fishing off of it or anything like that. North Bay Raftmaster, would you like a ride back to the mainland? Oh, interesting. I'm going to say, let's go ahead and say yes. When he says back to the mainland, interesting, okay. I see, and the ferry over to North Bay. I see, so I guess that's the way that you actually like get on continent. I had not come over here yet. Interesting, and once again, we were rewarded for exploring. Is it going to be a refreshing elixir? Ah, it's an avalanche bomb. Thought perhaps I would be able to call it. Me digging dirt. Me fine digger, you want? Accept the digger from the goblin. I sure hope it's a shovel that will allow me to start trying to dig up and bury treasure from the treasure maps that I have collected so far. Yes! Great. There is a shovel in the first one as well. Me wonder if more treasure in dirt. Me look more. Okay, and we got an achievement for that. That's fantastic. I believe we will be able to start going after treasure maps now. Scenic Byway Promoter. Business is down since people began feeling unsafe in remote areas. I can't say I blame them. I wouldn't want to run into a marauding army either. Still, there's many scenic trails that cover the continent of Orphos. As newcomers, I encourage you all to explore the human capital, Theopolis. Of course, you must visit Westonia, the grand world capital. Unfortunately, the elves have closed the border into Westonia. I can't believe they do such a thing, with so many humans and goblins waiting to attend the Cattle World Council. I've heard there was once an old trade route that ran through the mountains near Westonia, but it hasn't been used in several centuries. Okay, so it sounds like there might be a back door once we go down to Westonia through the mountains. Seems to be what I have just learned there. And what else do we have to steal? There's a refreshing elixir. Called it once too early. And a huge potion. Terrific. All these consumable items that at some point I really will try to use more of. Alright, how about on the south end over here? Really quick, is this a sign that's just gonna like tell me West, North Bay Ferry, South, Tree of Life. Okay, let's go south first, over towards the Tree of Life. I see, so this must be the south exit over here. I wonder, I can't see anything else that's down there. So here's the Tree of Life. And sure enough, there's a treasure chest. Another refreshing elixir, great. And any people down here to talk to? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so that's where that town's Tree of Life is, and I just also want to see if I pop out here. I see, this puts me on the town side so that I can actually start walking around on the continent. There's still more to explore in the town, so I will explore that in a little bit. Oh, I guess I need to talk to this guy if I want to ride the raft back over. Alright, and so let's explore the rest of town. I don't think I have explored anywhere over here. And, oh, it's like a little farmer. Spirited Engineer. Advances in irrigation made it possible for North Bay to expand into a major stop for travelers. So you see, science helps write history. Yes, unfortunately, so does violence. We must learn from the history we're writing now. Alright. Yeah, and there's already been a comment or two. I'm recording these a bit ahead because now I feel like I've gotten into the swing of things and feel good about like audio-video quality and have been doing cuts. And so I may be slower to react to comments because I'm recording a number of episodes ahead. I'll get back to my thought in a moment. Languid Lass. Let the World Council have its meeting. It won't improve the lot of the necked victims. When work accept the best way to survive is to remain isolated and avoid the notice of both sides. Someone wants to lay low. Survivalism for the layman by Grills. The most dangerous place is the urban environment. Criminals and armies alike are lured to these naive population centers. Before all else, move into the wild and isolate yourself from those who would do you harm. So I was starting to say that some people have talked about how the politics of this world, they wonder how much of it is, you know, meant to apply to the politics of our world and different things. And there's obviously, I don't know, some parallels one can draw. I think for the most part I will choose to see it as a video game. And, you know, what happens in this world is... Ooh, the thief is unable to unlock the chest. Oh, is able to unlock the chest, okay. Full ambrosia potions, great. Alright. And interesting that they have like this water pool. I guess this was downstairs. For some reason I was thinking I was going upstairs when I first went up that went down that staircase. So I was surprised to see the water there because one would not normally have water upstairs. Yeah, so I am gonna just kind of like take the politics of this game world in stride as the politics of this game world. And kind of leave it at that. Articles written by the residents, who we will go talk to in a moment. Hello, resident. A mature journalist. It is even possible that, by decree of the World Council, we can compel humans and goblins to live together. If you're optimistic, you can point to the capitals as an example of coexistence in practice. Yet if, like me, you point to the destruction of Rockwood and advancements of Nectopon Court, then the challenges the World Council face seem formidable. I wonder what the final script of history will say, and whether any heroes will rise to guide us through these troubled times. Alright. What else can we find in your house here? Yeah, not a whole lot. Alright. And it looks like maybe there's one more house down here, and one more chest that I can get stuff out of. Ooh, 7,500 gold. That was totally worth it. Oh, here's another chest. Large magic potion. Alright. And more SB orbs. I do need to, at some point, check on skills, because I haven't tried to learn skills in a while. I was daydreaming a week ago when my thoughts focused on a number. Oh, hello. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't shake the feeling that the number was somehow important. 03082013. That sounds like someone's birthday. Maybe like the kid of one of the developers or something. 03082013. I actually played the original last stream only like a year ago, but I think it had been out for like a couple of years before that, so it's possible that that was also the original release date of the original last stream, possibly. I don't know, I'm speculating, and if so, it's kind of like that would be a child of the developers as well, so. In any case, my expectation is that at some point later on in the game, we will encounter a lock that we need to unlock with that code, so I've written it down. Whaling by Melville. There's no greater thrill than standing at the bow of a whaling ship with a harpoon in hand. Keep steady, calm, and release your harpoon into the beast. Some say even larger creatures, leviathans, lurk beneath the waves. The leviathan underneath the ocean is kind of common to, I don't know, Final Fantasy in the original last stream, and so I imagine we'll encounter one of those later in the game as well. But at this point, perhaps I've actually covered everything in town. I'm gonna do kind of... Actually, I don't remember if I came down here. Yeah, I don't think I've been here yet. Dwarven aficionado. The dwarves are amazing metallurgists. Aha! Will we possibly be forging some incredible sword later on in the game? The equipment that they can create with rare earth gemstones, such as emerald and rubies, and sapphires. Okay, I think those are perhaps going to be the 3 main tiers of gear that we can upgrade. We already saw a recipe that involved a ruby something. Emerald is something we already have a bit of, and sapphire we haven't heard of before. I've read stories of mythical weapons and armor even more powerful than the dwarves' sapphire equipment. Surely there's no basis for such stories. And as someone who believes there's no basis for such stories, you'd be welcome to tell the first person who randomly walks into your house all about it. Alright, but we're learning more of the lore of the world of the game. I didn't really look at this painting. I haven't looked carefully at these paintings to notice if they're kind of, you know, like tiny reduced versions of any famous paintings or just kind of random artwork. But I don't immediately recognize anything there. I think after this house, this might be the last place that I need to explore in town. Scattered papers are a collection of news stories from Theopolis and Westonia. I'm guessing this person is a human. You have important news for the City Council of Theopolis regarding Rockwood? Make haste to the east. The council is likely leaving for Westonia soon to meet the Decadal World Council. Okay. So basically, it might be the case that we need to travel to Westonia to share all the news of what we have gathered about what has transpired, and our input into the council may affect kind of the overall outcome. That's what I'm guessing is we're being set up for here. More money is always great. Alright. I think that is everything. And so, if so, I will probably meet you back in the overworld, but I'm going to do it once around just to make sure I haven't missed anything else. Oh, here's another chest. Okay, so apparently I did miss this little bit. And is there a way to get to that boat? I don't see that boat being connected to anywhere. It looks like it's just like floating out in the ocean, and there doesn't appear to be a way to get on board. So I guess that one is just kind of decorative on the map. But yes, I've definitely been over here. Okay, so now we're done. Alright, so having finished with North Bay Town, let's go explore a bit of its overworld, and I'm also curious about treasure maps. I'm not sure if the treasures are the triangles. Let's see. If I go through all the list of... Okay, buried treasure number 10 is over on the continent there. 11's on another continent. 12's on another continent. 13 is very close to us. And so let's head in that direction first. I am a little bit down on magic points, but I still have plenty. I didn't bother sleeping at the inn yet. And so we'll just walk around. We'll see what kind of monsters we encounter and see if we can find that buried treasure on the map. I'm actually pretty close to it right now. Let's change zoom level back in. It looks like it is going to be just at the corner of the mountains over there. So perhaps right here. And so I don't remember... Do I just use the... Is the shovel a special item that I can use? Trying to remember... There is the shovel. Okay, yes. Hold action button for 1 second at a treasure location. Got it. So if I hold the button... Dug and found... 3 ambrosia. Alright. And so... And yeah, if I hold the button in other locations, I don't find it. And so on the map... does that still show up as a... I see, and buried treasure number 13 has disappeared now. Okay, so it does kind of track our progress for us in that regard. And I think that's also the case that under collections... treasure... Shovel, 1 of 15. Okay. So apparently there's 15 buried locations on the map that we will be able to dig up using the shovel. And then there was also a radar in the previous game. Oh, pianos, 2 of 10. Interesting. So it keeps track of all the pianos I played. Oh, an excavation... Interesting. It's separate from shovel. Not sure exactly what that is. In any case, this gives us a sense of kind of progress throughout the game. Oh, and it shows you your wanted level. And since I'm a thief, my wanted level is 0. But that gives you a chance to see if you didn't have a thief in your party and you were taking items out of the various red chests that you found in towns, how likely it is that the guards would be alerted. Alright, so looking back at the map... do I see any obvious ways to go? No, but it seems to me that Theopolis was kind of somewhere to the north. And so I'll probably start heading in that direction. We do have some new enemies. An infested tree and desert worm. And so I guess we will start with... ice sounds good. How difficult are these enemies going to be? At a glance, I would say it seems like they're going to be a little bit beefier than some of the previous enemies that I've hit. Let's see. Okay, ice does very well against some of those desert flying worms. But these guys, okay, they do pack a wallop. They have quite a lot of hit points. And I think at this point, it's probably the case that my melee damage guys can just finish these guys off. And so I'll just plan to do that. And see how that goes. But my white mage has been silenced. I think that's a status effect that would go away at the end. Oh, and the monk just got killed. Okay. This is more formidable. Oh, and he just had a sliver of hit points left. I almost beat him in the previous round of combat. Alright. So, that ended up being more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Given that the white mage has silence... Yeah, I guess... Oh, and we have people who are poisoned, but I can't cure the poison. I guess I do have items that deal with these things, though. Let's see. If I want to get rid of poison, it would be... Antidote. I didn't originally see it because it has the same icon as the magic potions. Cures poison for 1 ally. Okay, so I just want to get rid of the poison. And now I'm going to see if I can walk back to town with my dead party member and my white mage being silenced. But just see if I can get back. This time we'll go around the north side of these mountains. Yeah, alright. So in that case, I should be able to resurrect at the Tree of Life, the monk, and then go sleep at the inn, and I think sleeping at the inn will also cure status effects. And then we should be in good shape to continue. So back at the inn, it's 2,500 gold. Sure, we'll go ahead and sleep away the night here. And I just want to verify that this is going to restore... Yes, the status effects are gone. Alright, great. So that cost me a little bit of money. But now we're back in good shape, and so I will head back out. Infested tree and putrid creeper. Alright. Let's see. Let's try hitting each of these guys, and I guess for now I'll just guard here and putrid creeper. Let's try thunder and see how that does against those guys. Preserve. Oh, plus 100% hit points per turn. That sounds like if I don't kill them off in one blow, he'll just kind of basically resurrect himself almost. Yeah, he just got 4,000 hit points back. Okay. Got a better sense of what's going on here. Let's use dancing daggers to hit everybody. Let's have the monk try to hit one of these guys who's already low on hit points. White mage, I still don't know if there's a whole lot I want to do. And with the black mage, let's try a stronger spell. Let's try fire on these guys and see how that goes. Alright, so we managed to knock one of them out that way, and one of them out that way. And let's see how fire works. Ooh, Hex, what is that? Reduces attack and defense. Ouch. Fire worked pretty well. Alright, so I'll have to remember that moving forward. And I guess it makes sense that it worked well on, like, the tree branch thing. Ooh, creeper pus. Yuck. But we're getting more types of monster remains that we might be able to use in some future crafting recipes. So looking at the map, it looks like there's a fishing dock actually in the upper left. And so I think I'm going to walk around the top section through here and try to get over to that fishing dock. And it'll also just give me an opportunity to look around and see if there's any other points of interest on the map. Ooh, Badlands Behemoth. Alright. Let's focus fire on a couple of those guys, and let's imagine that they will do poorly against fire to start. Let's see how that goes. Oh, they do not have all that many hit points. That's good to know. And they have similar type of attack and magic patterns. Oh, and fire does really well against them. Okay, so the Badlands Behemoths are a little bit weaker enemies than the other ones that I encountered, in my opinion. Or I just got lucky and hit them with exactly the right stuff. But I believe the fishing dock will be just over here. Alright, and sure enough, there's a treasure chest. With a full potion, great. Some cool music. I was saddened to hear about Rockwood. A good friend of mine had recently moved there. I fear he's dead. I've been fishing to pass the time and keep my thoughts from going to dark places. Don't want to buy some bait right now. Don't want to do any fishing here on camera right at the moment. And actually, I don't know that I looked at the top end over here. Okay, just want to make sure there wasn't another treasure chest hiding over there. Alright, and actually, I'm also curious. I don't remember if the fishing docks have names. Yes, they do. West Orphos Dock. Alright, so that's been added to our map. And here is a demonic slime. Alright, we'll see what that guy's all about. But I'm pretty sure my monk can take this guy out in one hit. Okay, lightning bolt. Yeah, he's not that bad. It was the case that some of the other slimes have been hard to hit. And so I'll be curious to see. Yeah, the monk managed to hit it, no problem. So maybe the thief just got a little bit unlucky there. Demonic goo was one of the drops. So we're getting all kinds of crazy new monster drops, which is pretty cool. But now I think it's time to head a little bit further to the east. Oh, that appears to be some kind of town or house over there. What's the easiest way there? I could go around either side of the mountain chain. I guess just to explore new directions, we'll go this way around. But I definitely want to go check out that little settlement. And I don't think that's Theopolis. So I don't think that this is anything that I have kind of prior knowledge of. I guess we'll attack like this. And I think it was fire that worked pretty well against these guys, so we'll do that. Yeah, fire took all those guys out. Alright. Make quick work of that, and yeah, everybody's hit points are okay. Let's not worry too much. Alright, so what is this crazy place? It is Western Oasis. Free to all travelers, be thy human, goblin, elf, or dwarf. Alright, we've reached an oasis. Exhausted traveler, thank goodness for this oasis. Making the trek from North Bay to Theopolis is quite an ordeal without some mode of transport. Oh, rarely I see someone race past me on a moa, and I curse myself for never mastering moa taming. I could make the trip at a tenth of the time. So apparently, this is like a moa forest. It's got some, I don't know, jaunty kind of music going on as well, which reminds me a little bit of Final Fantasy Chocobo kind of music. Sunburned Explorer. It feels so good to get out of the sun. I stayed out too long and I have the most painful sunburn. I'd love some aloe, but the shopkeeper has exhausted his supply. There's actually a doctor in Theopolis who I know would have some aloe. I know it's asking a lot, but would you consider traveling to Theopolis and finding Dr. Abe for me? Yes, I'm headed there anyway. I'll make it worth your while if you bring back aloe. Okay, I need to write that down, that we need to bring aloe from Dr. Abe and Theopolis back to the oasis. Alright, back to stealing everything. Full elixir. Terrific. A diary owned by the shop owner. Finally have a shop of my own, but I yearn to roam free like the merchant in my favorite series, Diary of a Traveling Merchant. He saw so much of the world. Interesting. And a sword. It's dangerous to go alone. Legend of Zelda. I mean, I had, you know, the original NES and like the Legend of Zelda. I mean, that was an awesome game. And one that's still mildly fun to try to like go back and play on an emulator. Take courage with you, and a sword. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this, in any case. It's like the first line of that game. When you walk into the cave and get your first weapon. And one of my favorite things to do, a fun challenge in Zelda is to never use the sword. I think you need it to kill Ganon at the very end, but you can go the entire game without ever using a sword before then. And so I would not get the original sword, and you could walk all the way up to the top right corner of the map and walk into a place that would give you 100 rubies and spend 60 of those rubies on a blue candle, which you could use once per screen, and that would be your first way to start killing monsters. It's a fun challenge for those of you looking for old school replay value in very old games. Oasis Shopkeeper. Welcome, traveler. Business has really picked up lately with the upcoming Decadal World Council. That is, until the elves close the border for supposed security concerns. It's a real shame. I was even considering closing up shop and heading to Estonia for the festivities, but I suppose that will have to wait 10 years. Since I'm stuck here, would you like to peruse my stock of items? Yes, I would. What do you have? Usual stuff. Vocalizer serums are only 500. I'm actually going to buy 2 of them, just to have a few more of them on me, because I don't have any way to protect my white mage against silence. And it's much cheaper to use a vocalizer serum than to use the more general remedy, which cures a variety of status ailments. And so having some vocalizer serum seems like it's pretty good. And the rest of those things, yeah, seem like typical things that we've seen in other shops. Alright, well, we have another side quest, which is to fetch aloe for that guy. And I believe this will be marked as like Western Oasis. Yes, Western Oasis on the map. So that is terrific. And looking at the map, further up toward the top right, I believe, is where I recall we're supposed to head in order to get to Theopolis. Alright, we have a big group of enemies here. And because I prefer to explore, I'm going to go ahead and try to escape. Yeah, I managed to escape. Just because I would prefer not to be kind of worn down. Okay, there is the grassland. And here is a bridge up here. Since I'm here, we'll go up here. There's a sign over there. There's a shortcut if you have an engineer to hop through this tunnel, so you don't have to take the long way around. And really quick also on the map, if I zoom out one more zoom. Yeah, there is another treasure thing, but it's kind of past the grassland and the mountains on the continent over there. So at some point in the not too distant future, I might be able to get that. Okay, Arctic Berserker and Frozen Wraith. We got some new enemies. I took off the sleep ring that I'd been wearing on my white mage. I might want to put it back on if we're going to have the Wraith, because I have a feeling the Wraith is going to be someone who could put me to sleep. I changed it out for a Ring of Protection instead, which protects against instant damage attacks. For now, I'll guard, and let's use fire again, because fire is usually good against Wraith, as well as Arctic creatures, I imagine, would do poorly against fire. Alright, but they don't hit very hard. They don't cause any status... Oh no, confusion! I think that's the first time one of my party members had a confusion attack. Fortunately, my black mage managed to resist, and indeed, as suspected, it is the case that fire did very well against these guys. Oh, wow. He went berserk, though, and hit a bunch of people in my party. So I have to be careful with those guys. Wraith Robe. Alright, but we can heal up, and since no one tried to put me to sleep in that battle, I'm not going to change up my rings at all. Oh, my ninja is... Is that Curse? Cures Confusion... Poison. I'm trying to decide what the little skull symbol on my ninja is, and what I would need in order to fix it. Well, Remedy will certainly fix it, so let's cast Remedy on it. No, that didn't work. So what is that symbol that's next to my thief there, the little skull symbol? He's not dead. Is he? He's not zombified. I didn't notice him getting a particular other status effect. I'm curious, can I cast... I guess he doesn't have any skills. He doesn't have any magic he can cast outside of battle anyway. Okay, so I'm noticing while I'm curing the party, if I cure the white mage, for example, she gets like 150 hit points from a cure 1. Same thing for the warlock. If I go and try to cure the thief right now, he's at 1602. He only got 1610. So whatever that cursed status ailment or whatever it is that he has means he gets healed extremely slowly, as just a for example of one of the side effects of his status ailment. I'm trying to discover if there is somewhere... It's not going to show up on his equipment screen. It doesn't show up on his skills screen. Is there somewhere else that I can look more carefully at the party? Yeah, I can't immediately figure out what that status effect is on the thief. I'm going to press forward. It's possible that it's something that would wear off on its own. Okay, it doesn't look like there's a way to press forward this way. Forward. Apparently I say forward weird. Alright, so why would we come up here at all? The only thing I can guess, given that there's nothing else on the map up here, I'm going to go out on a wild goose chase and imagine that there might be eventually a treasure map that would lead me here. I tried holding down the action button just in case that was the case. but no treasure is being found. I don't know if you need the treasure map as a prerequisite to finding it, even if it was in that location, or if there's simply nothing here. But it doesn't look like there's anything useful that way. I'm going to try to go back to town next. Ooh, Frost Spectre. It's a new kind of guy. I'm going to try to go back to town next with the intention of sleeping at the inn to try to get rid of this crazy status effect, whatever it is. And because I think that we might actually get into some trouble here, I'm going to cast Citadel. And let's do Try Fire. Yes, I don't like it when all of a sudden I'm being hit. Ooh, resist physical damage, okay. Oh, return physical damage, I see. So it's going to be like a reflect kind of thing. Ooh, Magical Ward reduces the intelligence of all my guys during battle, and his axe seemed to also reduce the intelligence. Interesting. So his fire... Yeah, with reduced intelligence, the fire did not deal nearly as much damage. I'm going to try Dancing Daggers, and I'm worried about what physical damage is going to be reflected when I hit the Frost Spectre, but let's go ahead and try it out anyway. And with the expectation, with the expectation that we're going to take some damage, let's go ahead and do a heal. And fire was still pretty useful. Let's also try wind, seems like it would be likely to be useful against the spirits. Yep, okay, those guys who are reflecting physical damage are truly reflecting all physical damage. So they are going to be hard to hit unless I can hit them with Black Mage spells, or I could use, I just robbed an Inferno Bomb, for example, I could use consumable items like that. So I should have the Monk using some consumable item. Confusion attack, but he didn't manage to get confused. Destroy armor sounds pretty scary. My Thief, once again, was hardly able to heal. Wind is working well against these guys, so that's good. Alright, but both of these guys need to use magic attacks, so let's use... I have a lot of Inferno Bombs, and fire is good against these guys, I believe, so let's use Inferno Bombs. And I think the White Mage can just guard, and we should be able to cast... we'll try Thunder. Okay, Inferno Bomb. That was totally the right thing to do there. Great. And we got some level ups too. Fantastic. And we got 3 Frozen Skulls. Alright, I'm going to try to run back to town. I managed to make it back to the inn and sleep away the night. And that did indeed get rid of that status effect. So after this play session today, I will definitely go read up on the status effects. And I'm unclear. Surely there's a way in-game that I can discover the meaning of one of those symbols, but I don't know what it is, and so just in terms of like the user interface, like I'm not sure how to discover that, but I'm sure in like the game reference manual or whatever, it would tell me the meaning of that particular symbol. So I'm going to continue to try exploring further to the east. 1 demonic slime I'm not too worried about, because my monk should be able to finish him off post-haste. Hey, I found something. What is this? Oh, this is the clothing guy, right? Hello, hello, it's good to see you again. Nasty business, Rockwood's destruction, eh? But there's nothing we can do now. On to the next stop, I always say. It's the traveling merchant. So I'm at your direction. What clothing would you like? I'm actually not interested in doing this again. I wonder if this is going to be... Yes, this is the same lore that we read, and so presumably... there isn't anything different here, and so it's just that this guy has moved to a different location. I think it is a different location, yeah, on this screen, and so yeah, I might be able to find treasures on this screen, such as I just did there. So let's definitely look all around this screen and see if there's anything else to be found. Doesn't look like it. Alright, well, if we wanted to change our party's colors, we could do it there. And I'm curious on the map, that is the traveling merchant wagon. Alright, and so I guess it will just move from place to place. And it looks like the treasure is kind of up and to the right. It's almost within reach, and so I'm going to head up in that direction. It looks like it's just along these mountains over here. Ooh, there's a fishing dock, though. Got to stop there. Alright, let's head down here. Sure enough, treasure chest. Refreshing elixir, great. I think we might have heard this music before. The population explosion in Theopolis, a stable food supply has been a highly prized commodity by the ruling council. Theopolis Lake, I see, we're at Theopolis Lake, provides a plentiful bastion for all sorts of aquatic species. Alright. Neat. And is there anything else up here? Does not look like it. Alright, so Theopolis Lake. Let me change the zoom and zoom back in. Theopolis Dock is what that one is called. Alright, great. And it looks like the treasure is just up to the north. Alright. Ooh, Rabid Werewolf and Demonic Satyr. Okay. Let's get our game faces on. Yeah, let's try attacking one of each of these guys. Since we're not sure what we're up against, let's do Citadel to increase our defenses. And fire's been working well for us, so let's continue trying some fire here. Okay, these guys hit hard. They have a lot of hit points. Fire does well against the werewolves, so we'll have to remember that. We'll have to discover a different spell that might work well against the satyrs. You can probably finish him off that way. And the satyrs are like half hit points or something. And I think we can afford just a guard, and let's try Thunder against the satyrs. Alright, they've improved their own quickness. Tempest, uh-oh. Alright, apparently my guys are well defended against the windstorm, especially after my White Mage cast Citadel. And Thunder did do better against the satyrs, so I'll try to remember that. White Mage has a level up. We got Werewolf Claws and Satyr Hoofs. And it looks like the treasure is buried right here. Dug and found. 3 warp stones. Alright. So the treasures aren't too incredibly exciting, but it's still fun to find. I like treasure maps in most contexts. Alright, and so Theopolis, I see. We're going to have to kind of walk around in order to get there. It looks like there's a bridge if I go down this way along the map. Yeah. So it looks like that's how we can get to Theopolis. Okay, there's a kobold in addition to the other guys. And a gargoyle. Okay. I don't know what the gargoyles are going to be like, or the kobolds. I guess let's kind of just spread out some attacks. Let's start out with Citadel once again to defend. And I guess let's try Thunder on these guys to start, since we know it works pretty well against the satyrs. And see if we can survive this attack, because this is a big group of monsters to be fighting. So far, so good. Oh no! Did the Black Mage get turned to stone? He did. Alright, that's unfortunate. Fortunately, we have Dancing Daggers, so we have something that can hit everybody. And I think it was one of the satyrs who did that, and so I think I'll go after one of the satyrs, and then I believe... will Remedy get rid of stone? Let's imagine that it will. Okay, Tempest's not a big deal. Alright, and so while he's stone, I think he's basically immune to taking any damage, but it also means he can't do anything, and so he's kind of like a useless party member. And so getting him out of that state is probably a good thing, especially since he's going to be one of my hard hitters, but it's good that the enemies apparently don't know that the Black Mage is stone, and so 2 of them have managed to attack him and deal no damage. And it is the case that Remedy managed to get rid of the stone, so that's good. And at this point, Kobold's almost dead, so you should be able to kill him. Gargoyle's getting low, so you should be able to kill him. And then Black Mage could just cast Thunder again, and that should finish everybody off. Alright, but definitely battles becoming more difficult and complex, and requiring me to think a little bit more about the strategies I'm going to use in each individual battle. We got a Kobold Fang I saw there. Let's do some healing, shall we? Alright. Party is feeling better, and magic points... Still have plenty of magic points. And so we're still in pretty good shape. But it looks like we're going to make it to Theopolis. which presumably will have an inn. It seems like it's a big city. But I think at this point, this might be a place. Keep out of trouble while you're in Theopolis. We don't tolerate violence between the races here, so play nice, and all the good things of the city are yours to enjoy. Alright, I think we will probably save this for next time. It seems like this is going to be a big city, and it takes a long time to explore all of those things, and so rather than get started, we'll save that for next time. I hope, as always, that you guys are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more of Last Dream World Unknown. Bye-bye.